Rob Califf is the quintessential clinical trialist in the field of not just interventional cardiology, but cardiovascular medicine.
Rob Califf is truly one of the most extraordinary men that I've ever known. Rob comes across as being a very folksy, down-to-earth person, yet when you listen to him, it doesn't take long to realize that his thoughts are extraordinarily deep.
He's provocative, he's honest, and he has high integrity.
Someone who's not just powerful, but empowering.
He's a big thinker. He's a visionary person.
He has had a career that actually has touched probably more lives because of the life-saving therapies that he helped develop and work on.
Rob has really set the standard in how to perform clinical trials.
We, as cardiologists, have been so lucky to have him in the forefront of how we look at evidence.
How to get to the answer that matters.
He believes in big projects and impactful projects.
The DCRI, the Duke Clinical Research Institute, which is the world's largest academic research organization, frequently is referred to as the house that Rob built.
It's been established as the model that we've all ascribed to be able to follow.
And the culture that he created is that this would be a group of professionals of all different backgrounds interested in asking and answering questions that were important to the public health. One was actively engaged in clinical investigation, one was actively engaged in clinical medicine, and they did not seem separate, as they often are.
Well, it's not just if you made it to the top, but how many people did you bring with you?
I think one of the most important assets that Dr. Califf has and he brings forward is in recognizing talent.
Rob has a very unique style of encouraging people to blossom.
When I first realized I was going to work in his research group, I'd been at Duke for maybe a month or two, and he asked me what I was going to do with my life, and I told him. And he said, "Boy, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard."
He has some pretty novel ideas.
He will bait you, he will question you, he will poke and prod and push you.
He made me think about it, not in a mean way, but in a way that was challenging and made me really think about, well, what do I want to do?
He was a leader that empowered everyone around him and lifted them up.
But then he took it a step further. He made sure that the evidence that we were thinking about was going to be applied to the patients at the bedside.
He's driven totally by his belief in the primacy of science and the patient.
Patient-focused and clinically centered.
He has cared as much about the care of those who have less and those who have not received the best of care. You're in this community, you own this community.
He's always put public health in front of him as the #1 priority.
During the too short time he was our leader as the director of the FDA, he took a lot of the experiences he had as a rigorous clinical trialist, as a humanist, as a wonderful clinician, and as an administrative force.
The way he conducted himself there and all the things he did, it really stood out to me as a man with the highest integrity.
More recently, Rob has been interested in developing real-time, real-world data
for understanding where our problems lie in the nation.
I mean, now, after leaving the Food and Drug Administration, he's returned half-time to being an academic, working with ourselves in Stanford, but also the other half working with Verily, a Google company.
To really adopt a much more expansive, visionary approach to how we do clinical trials in the future that would allow us to impact public health more directly.
How can we engage this huge tech behemoth to actually do great things for medicine as it has done in other parts of life?
So I think this is a reflection of what he's done for public health moving forward.
We're both fierce basketball fans. We're at Duke. It's a religion. There were actually several times before his appointment as FDA commissioner that he was shortlisted. And the first time that happened, at halftime, I just went up, sat next to him, and I said, "Rob, you know, are you really going to do this?" And he said, "You know, Mitch, as FDA commissioner, I would take at least a 30% pay cut. I would report to everybody. I would change everything I'm doing. And yes, I would do that in a heartbeat." Because he would do that for his country. That's Rob.